Welcome back to Recap World. We're about to dive deep into the grimy, unglamorous world of British espionage, where the spies are more likely to have a beer gut than a six-pack, and the office smells like bad decisions and stale takeout. We're talking about Slow Horses, the show that proves even MI5 biggest failures can stumble their way to saving the country. We're recapping the entire journey, from Season 1 botched training op to Season 4 shocking family secrets. No deep dives, no reviews, just the cold, hard, and often hilarious plot in chronological order. Let's get to it. The whole mess starts with River Cartwright, a hotshot MI5 agent with spy world royalty in his blood, thanks to his legendary grandfather, David Cartwright. But River botches a training exercise at London's King's Cross Station, a blunder so spectacular it gets him exiled to the bottom of the MI5 totem pole place called Slough House. River is convinced the exercise was sabotaged and that he was fed false information, but his protests fall on deaf ears. This is MI5 professional purgatory, a crumbling building full of rejects known as the Slow Horses, all of them led by the brilliant but utterly disgusting Jackson Lamb. While River's stuck with mind-numbing desk work, a crisis hits the news. A British-Pakistani university student named Hassan Ahmed is kidnapped by a far-right group called the Sons of Albion. They threaten to behead him live online, and the Slow Horses are put on a seemingly low-level job watching a disgraced journalist tied to the group. But this is Slow Horses, so nothing is what it seems. The kidnapping is a cynical false flag operation cooked up by MI5 Deputy Director Diana Taverner. Her plan? An MI5 undercover agent, a former slow horse named Alan Black, would stage the kidnapping and then miraculously save Hassan to impress a Pakistani defense minister and earn Taverner a promotion. Taverner's scheme falls apart when the kidnappers realize they've been double-crossed and behead Alan Black instead of Hassan. A disgruntled slow horse named Jed Moody is also caught up in the operation and dies in a botched assassination attempt. The Slow Horses, now viewed as dangerous loose ends, are sent on the run, with MI5 elite dogs hunting them. Led by Lamb, they prove their worth, tracking the kidnapper's van and ultimately allowing Hassan to save himself by taking down his last captor with a rock. The season ends with two bombshells. First, a fellow slow horse, Sid Baker, is revealed to have been a surveillance agent planted to spy on River. After being shot, she's announced as dead, but fellow agent Roddy Ho deduces that she has simply been disappeared when her online presence is completely erased, a grim sign of MI5 ruthlessness. Second, and most importantly, Lamb reveals a half-truth to his secretary, Catherine Standish, about how he got his job. He claims his position at Slough House is a quiet reward for killing her former boss, a double agent named Charles Partner, on the orders of David Cartwright. His filthy, useless exterior is a clever mask, a cover that ensures no one ever suspects he's still a deadly operator. Just as things seem to settle, an old spy is found dead on a London bus after a chance encounter. Before he dies, he leaves one word on his phone: cicada, an ancient code word for Russian sleeper agents. Lamb recognizes the old-school tradecraft and knows this is no simple heart attack. The man, a retired spy named Dickie Bowe, was poisoned with a contact agent on the bus. Lamb immediately sends the team to investigate. The Slow Horses are split up. River goes undercover as a journalist to chase the assassin, a man named Andrei Chernitsky, to a flying club. There, he discovers that the family's matriarch, Alex Trooper, is a sleeper agent who has been dormant for decades. Meanwhile, Louisa and Min Harper, who are now a couple, are assigned to a seemingly simple security detail for a Russian politician at a high-rise called the Glass House. All the threads come together in a violent climax at the Glass House. River, who has been captured by the sleeper agents, learns of the Russian plan to crash a plane into the skyscraper. He manages to call in A Code September, a grim reference to the 9/11 attacks, and triggers an evacuation. In the chaos, Louisa and Min are caught in a Russian heist. Tragically, Min is killed in a senseless act of violence because he had the bad luck to recognize one of the Russians from an earlier encounter, a needless death that devastates Louisa and changes her forever. The mastermind behind the sleeper cell plot is revealed to be Nikolai Katinsky, a Russian defector. Lamb discovers Katinsky is targeting him for revenge because Lamb had killed his former partner, Charles Partner. It's revealed that Katinsky forged Lamb's name onto his own defection papers, trying to frame him. The conflict shows how the grudges of the past, specifically from the Cold War, continue to affect the present. This season gets deeply personal when the Slow Horses' de facto mother, Office Administrator Catherine Standish, is kidnapped by a Tiger team of private military contractors led by a former MI5 agent named Sean Donovan. Team was hired by high-ranking government officials to expose weaknesses within MI5 itself. Donovan is not looking for money, he's seeking vengeance for the death of his lover, Allison Dunn, and believes MI5 covered it up. He kills MI5 agent James Spider Webb in the process. His demand? He wants access to the Gray Books, a legendary file of MI5 classified secrets. The hunt for this file, which is also called the Footprint File, is just a red herring for a much bigger game. The kidnapping is actually an elaborate power play orchestrated by Diana Taverner to outmaneuver her boss, director Ingrid Tierney, and take her job as first desk. Taverner leaked the information about the file to Donovan, making him a pawn in her grand scheme. The season comes to a bloody climax at a records facility, where the Slough Horses are cornered by the MI5 dogs. In a moment of intense, painful catharsis, Louisa kills Nick Duffy, a senior MI5 agent who had a history with the team and whose cruel words haunted her after Min's death. Donovan, having finally acquired the file he was looking for, is mortally wounded and dies, pleading with River and Louisa to expose the cover-up. In the aftermath, Lamb finally reveals the painful truth to Catherine. He killed Charles' partner. He reveals that partner was a traitor who used her alcoholism to cover for his own corruption. He leaves out the part about David Cartwright's orders, but the revelation is enough to shatter Catherine, and she resigns from Slough House. River, meanwhile, takes the file Donovan died for to his grandfather, but David, ever loyal to the institution of MI5, burns it, calling it a reputational risk. But River has already made a copy, a sign of his growing moral independence. The fourth season is a family affair for River Cartwright. It opens with a shocking scene where his grandfather David seems to shoot River. The twist: David shot a look-alike assassin who had been sent to kill him after impersonating River. This assassination attempt is connected to a bombing at a shopping center in London that has rattled the city. River's investigation links the events to an ex-CIA agent named Frank Harkness. The central revelation is a secret decades in the making. Harkness is River's biological father. He ran a death squad made up of his own biological sons. Years ago, he seduced River's mother, David's daughter Isabel, as a cruel act of revenge against David. David later traded MI5 assets and a cold body ID to Harkness to get his daughter back. Harkness's son Eve used that fake MI5 ID to carry out the Wiseacres bombing, turning a political assassination into a mass atrocity. He now wants to eliminate David and his former colleague Sam Chapman, who also knew about the secret, in a cleanup job. The Slough Horses work to protect David. Tragically, in the process, Marcus Longridge is shot and killed while defending Slough House from Harkness's assassins. River eventually confronts Harkness and manages to capture him. But Harkness reveals he has a fail-safe letters with compromising information on how MI5 and other governments have used his assassination squad for years. Fearing a catastrophic scandal that would cause an international relations meltdown, MI5 is forced to release him. The season ends on a somber, emotional note. River, unable to ensure his grandfather's safety any longer, makes the heartbreaking decision to place David, who is suffering from dementia, in a care home. Afterward, heartbroken and alone, he gets a call from Jackson Lamb, who in a rare moment of silent grace, invites him to a pub for a drink. It's a small gesture, but it shows that in a world of spies and secrets, Lamb has become the closest thing River has to a true father figure. The four-season journey of Slough Horses is not about professional glory, but about the enduring bonds forged in the fires of institutional corruption and personal tragedy. The Slough Horses are no longer just a group of failures. They're a dysfunctional family united by trauma, always finding themselves on the right side of things, no matter how much they stumble. What did you think of the journey? Did I miss any of your favorite moments? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this recap, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Recap World, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching.